Hello and welcome to another episode of Mid-Island Custom Diecast. My name is Evan, and today we're doing the Four Horsemen monthly build for December, which is a 1932 Ford Rat Rod. Let's take a look at what we started with. It's the orange early times version of the Hot Wheels casting. It's got the flames and tampos on the side. The snorkel or hood scoop is part of the body, which you'll see in a second holds the base on with the one post in the front. It's got the one piece interior engine and front grille. Anyway, let's get this thing cracked apart and see what we're working with. So we'll start by drilling out the posts, which I've done already, as you can see here. And crack it open. See the wheels there, we'll be changing those. There's the one-piece chrome interior, engine, and grille. We'll be doing some work with that. You can see the post and the scoop there on the front and the windshield. And we get started by putting a little oil on the posts and drilling those out. Once we get those drilled down far enough, I'll put a little extra oil on the tap and tap both the front and back holes. Then we'll go ahead and insert these two 56 button head screws front and back and throw it in the stripper. Alright, here it is out of the stripper. See, we've done a pretty good job, probably 98-99% paint removal, just a couple of spots left. And so we'll go with those with the wire wheel and the Dremel. Go over all the outer and inner surfaces, make sure we get all that paint off, and any sort of oxidization there might be, any gunk and crud, just get it all cleaned up a bit. While we're doing this, we get a chance to check out all of the casting lines if there are any, and on this casting there was some on the back here, on the seat cover, I guess it is, hideaway seat, and there was some along the top of the roof and along the front windshield as well, and we cleaned all those up. And one last step before getting it ready for paint, at least in my shop, is the Scotch-Brite wheel attachment on the Dremel. We give this a good once over, and sometimes I'll hit it with a little steel wool too, but definitely after this we give it a good cleaning with degreaser and the isopropyl alcohol as well. Give it a good clean up, soap and water after that. And yeah, this is how she turned out ready for paint, which we will get to in a bit. First though, we'll get a little hot water and caustic soda solution and dip the interior in there. Give it a little stir around, and as you can see, almost immediately all that chrome has come right off of there. So I got the chrome paint out in the spray brush, airbrush, and taped off the interior section. We've given this a good coat of primer, and now we'll just go over the engine and the front grille with the chrome. And then we pray while we take off the tape. In this case, we just had a couple pieces, no big deal. You can see here I have changed the steering wheel as well. So we give the insides of that a little paint up, and I think, yeah, here I go over the column as well. And the gear shift knob. Then in the front grille, a little Nuln oil to give some definition. I also went over the exhaust tips with a little black paint, and the engine got a little Nuln oil as well. So as we set the interior aside, we'll take the black paint in the airbrush and do the top coat on the body. This is the red oxide primer. The orange is the red oxide primer from Tamiya, with the underneath the black, and then this is just a Tamiya flat black for the base coat, and that gets 1 or 2 coats, maybe 3 coats. Get it nice and thick on there. So this is something I saw Chuck at Flying Valiant and a couple other builders do. I used a couple of pins. I've seen other people use axles. Either way, we start by giving a little center punch where I want to insert some mirrors, and take the Dremel with a 1mm, I believe it's a 1mm bit anyway, and drill a couple of holes. Passenger side and driver side mirrors for this car today. There we go. And see, we just cut a pin down to size, gave it a little bend, and stick it in that hole. Just so I don't get glue all over the place and bung up the fitment of the windshield unit. Put a little super glue on a toothpick and just dab it around the inside of the hole there where the pin sits. This is the thick gel super glue, so it fill up that hole a little bit. And for the wheels and tires, I went with the Van City Diecast wheels. Tom has a really great product, and it's just a few hours away from me, so when I place an order I usually get it in a couple of days, which is nice. And so these ones, you just stick the pin in, slide it where the original wheels went, and stick the other wheel on and crimp the other end of the axle, and you're done. Nice easy product to work with. They come in white and kind of silver chrome color. These ones are the silver chrome drag style with the fatties on the back and the skinnies on the front. And as usual, taking the silver Sharpie here and just detailing a bit of the bottom of the chassis. I'll give it a little definition, which ends up looking pretty cool, even though most people don't see it. But I know it's there, and that's all that really matters. So I set all that stuff aside to dry, and now we're just going to wet sand away a bit of the black paint, showing the primer coat, which is the red oxide primer, and it sort of gives it a rusty look or a worn look, or I'm not really sure. I've never done this before, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I didn't want to I had a lot of projects getting ready for Christmas and the holidays and such, so I didn't really have time to go over all of the thing with the rise of rust and everything. So yeah, anyway, this is how I did it, and I guess you can leave some comments and let me know how you think it looks. So we will while we're getting all the parts together, we'll give you a little reminder of what we started with. If you remember, it was the orange early times with the flames and the chrome body or chrome interior thing. And here is how we ended up. I didn't have to do anything with the windshield. With the body, I did go over the hood scoop snorkel thing with chrome paint as well. Filled the front end with black. Can't really see what I did much with the motor. Next time I'd like to do a little more detail. Maybe swap them out. I do have some 3D printed ones, so looking forward to doing that on one of these next ones here. Mirrors, using some pins, and just a simple paint job and some sandpaper. That's all this one was. And of course the wheel swap. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for popping by my channel as always. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. I know things are pretty bad in some parts of the world here with the lockdowns and such, so wishing everyone has a better 2021. Anyway, we will catch you next time.